Aloha, welcome to the Friday Marketing Jam Session. I am Tom Gaddis. I am excited to be here. I'm going to pull over to the comments, see who else is here. We got a great live show lined up for you today. We're going to be talking about how to automate your recurring revenue, right? I've got a special guest. We're going to bring them out here in a minute. We're going to take your questions. We're going to share some strategies. I don't know if you guys saw, but this past I guess when was it? I guess it was yesterday. Yesterday we did a special training. So if you're on that training, let me know in the comments, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to put up a link in case you miss it so you can see that. We're just going to have an all-around good time. So why don't you go grab a cool drink? I'm going to cue up the intro, and I will see you back here in one momento.
It's now time, the moment you've been waiting for. Get ready for the fastest 60 minutes of marketing strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. After 167 agonizing hours, they've finally returned. From the sun-soaked Sin City and the sandy shores of Maui, Hawaii, now back for a brand new Aloha Marketing Jam Session. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks and Remote Millionaires, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
Oh man, you are fired up out there. No. Here, what a great crowd. What a great crowd. That's awesome. Well, welcome to the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam Session, everybody. Let's see who's in the house. I've got, Cameron right at the top there. What's up? Facebook user. If you grant StreamYard permission, we'll be able to see your name. Yes, woohoo. It is Friday. I see Jacqueline. What's up, Jacqueline? Lee Proctor, welcome. Yeah, I saw, Lee, you had some great questions on the training, and I'm excited to see what you're going to be doing with it. What's up, Dorn? Jacqueline, I see a lot more Facebook users too. Yeah. Here's if you give us permission, we'll be able to see your name. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. So I have to warn you guys, as you heard on the training yesterday, I've been fighting something off all week. And so I got this scratchy throat. My voice sounds all jacked up, and I just felt like I was getting ready to sneeze. So I've been dealing with that, but I've had a good week. I got to go to a magic convention. So they have this thing here in Vegas every year called Magic Live. So I was there from Sunday to Wednesday. A lot of fun. Got to see a lot of magician friends that I hadn't seen in a while. They have this they have a huge dealer's room that's just packed with people selling magic tricks. Always fun to see that. A lot of professionals come there. They do shows and things, all that kind of stuff. So really interesting. Lots of marketing lessons I actually pulled out of that convention that you'll be hearing me talk about in my emails, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about on the show today. But lots of good stuff. So, man, welcome, Tony Edwards. Chris, what's up? I see Barbara. Welcome, everybody. Excited you are here. Hola, as you say. Awesome. I know all of you, too, by the way. I just want to say this before we bring out our guest. Nick and I really appreciate all the messages and everything that everyone sent out, asking to make sure that everybody we knew was okay with the fires and things that are going on Maui. I just talked to Nick yesterday. You know, him, his family, everybody's safe. So far, everyone that we know that's still on the island is still safe, which is really great to hear. But they've got a lot of rebuilding ahead. And, you know, one thing when I was first hearing about the fires, we'll probably be talking about like how this is going to impact the agency there, right? Now, fortunately for us at the agency, we've expanded our client base over the past few years. You know, for a while, we only had clients on Maui. Now we have clients all over the Hawaiian Islands, and that has turned out to really be something that at the time we didn't think much of, right? But now it's turned out to be pretty important. So we'll be talking a little bit about that over the next few weeks and things like that. And also, too, the other thing I was talking to Nick about is, you know, we want to do something to help the people there. And so here over the next few days, we'll probably really be making announcements somewhere in the Facebook group. And if you guys want to do something with this, that would be great. We'll let you know. We're just trying to kind of get some logistics together and figure out what we want to do and how we want to do it and all that stuff and help any way we can. You know, I was on Maui for 11 years. My daughters grew up there, real connection there. So really sad to see, but we're going to try to do our part to help them get going and rebuild. And then we'll be able to, you know, share some of the stuff with you guys as, look, we're dealing with real world stuff, right? When you're an entrepreneur and a business owner, these things, they don't happen very often, but they can happen where you're doing business or people you're doing business with. And so how are we going to handle those situations and deal with them and recover and all that stuff? So I can tell you one of the first things we did was we had our team shut down anyone's ad campaigns that were in the affected area of the fire. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with Maui, but Front Street, which is a historic area in Maui, is basically just gone. So that's where the harbor was. That's where a lot of the tourist business was. And we had a few clients that operated out of Front Street. So as soon as we realized that Front Street was gone, we turned the ad campaigns they were running off because we knew they were not going to be getting business, right? And we immediately emailed everyone the next day and said, hey, we've just taken the liberty of shutting your ad account off. We know there's a lot going on. And those customers already were emailing us back and saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing that. So, you know, trying to be very proactive and helping those people out. So we can talk a little more about that, but I want to get our special guest out here because on the training yesterday, we talked about a recurring service that you can be doing. They have an amazing little piece of software that automates the whole process. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to take your questions. It's something that I strongly believe you should be doing in your business. And especially if you've struggled to get traction with something like a foot in the door offer or find something that really resonates with the people that you're reaching out to, I think this may be the thing that you're looking for. So why don't we give a big warm Sharks welcome to Mr. David Sprague. What's up, David?
Hey, Tom. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
A little longer than I planned to there. Sorry about that.
No, what you said was really important. Matter of fact, you brought up a really, I thought, thought-provoking point of diversification. You know, whether it's COVID or whether it's a fire, in the marketing world, like we decided to change our philosophy a little bit before COVID. And we decided, hey, instead of just being a reputation company, we're going to be a 4 core company. We're going to focus on reputation, social, traffic, and funnel automation. And so every piece of software in our ecosystem, which is about 18 at this point, falls under those 4 different categories. And so it really proved our model when tragedy struck not just a certain location, but struck the entire US and all the countries. And Google literally said, we're done. You're shutting all the reviews down completely because everybody was so ticked at these companies. They're running all these bad reviews. They're not open. They're not doing this. They didn't do this. It was horrific. So Google's like, we're not doing reputation. Well, the natural effect of that was, well, we need to shut down our reputation services with you agency. But what really ramped up back then was social. I mean, everyone went to social media. They had so much time on their hands. They were just engaged. And so how did you get the word out? Like, you've already had these reviews. You can't leave any more reviews at all. And so we having this 4 core strategy. So you mentioned something so critical in the kind of opening about, diversification, not being a one-trick pony, having the ability to really serve the community and that you're going after, and not just be that one kind of dot. We believe wholeheartedly that reputation is the core. I mean, it is the foundation, because you can have all the traffic you want, you can have all the, articles you want, SEO that you want, but if they're coming and looking at your Google business reviews, they're coming looking at Facebook, they're going to your website, if they're not going to see an amazing reputation, then you're really going to struggle to get conversions. So, which kind of leads us to this new opportunity that just hit, where these new trends that are coming, which is responding to reviews. Now, if we go back 4 years to COVID, I didn't think of this. I didn't know this. I wish I would have. It would have been a big aha moment. If if I had a time machine, I would have gone back to 2000 and said, hey, we can stop your reputation services, but what we're going to do is now start responding to your reviews that come in. Never dawned on me. Didn't even think about it. I mean, that was a service we had, but I didn't lead it is, hey, when people are leaving a negative review, they're leaving, stressed out messages. How do we respond? And what did business owners do? They ignored it. They just like, hey, well, hopefully that goes away. And I don't want to, if I respond, maybe I escalate it. So it's a real struggle. And now we realize that these new stats from Harvard came out and a whole bunch of others said, look, if you respond to reviews, literally not even all the reviews, but 25, 50% of them, businesses that do that typically grow 25 to 30% a year in revenue on average. And for me, that was mind blowing. Like I'm considered an expert in the space a little bit. Yeah, it is. It was mind blowing. So when we knew it, we understood it right away, but it was like, how did we miss that? We need to capitalize on this right now. So we started figuring out like what other softwares out there we could recommend our customers to, and there's nothing. So we went to work to build a plugin that allowed, obviously AI wasn't in at that time too, right? So you could respond to reviews, but a little bit, manual to do. But now with AI, we built a formula that identified the perfect messaging, which is commitment, values, responsibility, and call to action. Those four we put into a formula that literally when you read these reviews built by AI, it's like, these guys are really amazing. They really care. They're really, connected to what's going on. And so building this and then now approaching these businesses and saying, hey, I noticed now, let me ask everyone on the line here, put in the chat box. What percentage of businesses right now you think are responding to reviews? Well, what percentage? Anybody want to take a guess? Out of 100 businesses, how many of those businesses actually will take the time and at least respond to one review? Not all of them, but just at least one review in the top 10 or top 15. So anybody?
I see 20%, 25%, 5%.
Who said the first one said 25%?
That was Jacqueline Heath. Or wait,
Jacqueline.
No,
Jacqueline's a rock star.
Tony Edward. Tony Edward was the first.
Oh, Tony Edward was first. Okay, so let's give Tony a $25 gift certificate at Amazon. So
boom, Tony.
25 for 25. So I love action takers. Good job, Tony. So we get Tony's email. We'll send him a $25 gift certificate to Amazon. But so think of this, like it'd be like only 25% of businesses have a website. Only 25% of businesses, are on social media. Only 25 businesses only have a Google My business profile. That's huge opportunity. But here's the kicker, which even expands the opportunity even more. Of the 25%, right? What percentage of those reviews do you think are being responded to? So when you got these 25 that get it, they kind of understand it, they want to engage, maybe their administrators got a little extra time on their hands, so they're going on their Google business profile and saying, hey, let's say thank you to this person and we appreciate you to this person. What percentage? So what do we got there, Tom?
I see 20%, 20%, 15%.
Okay. So first one with 20%, who was that?
That was Kristen Bedard.
All right, Kristen. So we have a $25 gift to come to you too. So congratulations on that. Well done, Kristen. So so now you're like, wow, when you look at the whole realm of things, we're talking about 95 to 98% of businesses do not respond to all the reviews. So that kind of leaves a big problem when you think about, okay, well, why? What's the big reason? Why, if this is so valuable and a business can grow by this much because they're engaged, they're being considered socially responsible, why not? And what we found when we talked to businesses is that one is, first of all, they don't have a strategy. And businesses are going to spend time and money on doing something more if they don't have a strategy. And two is that they just don't know how it affects them. They're not seeing these Harvard stats. They're not experts in the industry. So the information isn't getting down to them. Now, I believe it will in the next 24 to 36 months, just like, having a website did, just like having, a Google business listing does. But it's going to take some time, but we can be the first to market saying, hey, this is what can really help you. You have to spend a $3,000, $4,000, or $5,000 in, ad spend, even though that's great. And if it's working for you, why don't we just respond to your reviews and watch your business revenue increase? So I don't see the comments here because I'm on my phone, but any comments coming in on that, or Tom, your thoughts on that? Is it me or?
It's me. I muted because I keep sniffling and I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Boy, too bad you guys didn't hear that. That was probably the best thing I've ever said on a live show. And now
the most profound thing I've ever mentioned on the Friday Jam.
Yeah. Dorn said they have no idea how to do it or don't have the time. And, I mentioned this, I think, on the training the other day, too. I mean, when you think about this from a business owner's perspective, right? If someone's in their location, and being a restaurant manager, this is what kind of got this up to me, because like when I was a restaurant manager for the Olive Garden, they spent a lot of time teaching you how to deal with unhappy customers in the restaurant, right?
Sure.
And you could actually get in trouble. Like if you went to a table and you talked to the table and the table said, if you apologized and all that, and the table said everything was great, thank you for coming by, we're good. If you didn't go a step extra and do something more for them, like buy them a dessert or get them a gift card, like you would get in trouble from the corporate office if the person said anything, because they're like, why did you not go the extra mile? And I think when a business owner, when someone leaves and they leave a review online, it's really frustrating for them because they're thinking, man, if you just said something when you were there, I could have fixed it. Now they feel like there's no way for them to fix it. Not only is there no way for them to fix it, but there's every other person in the world is now seeing what this thing said about them, right? And if you're a manager or a business owner as well, like you're usually not the one dealing with the customer. So now you've got these employees that are creating these issues, and now you got to deal with that. Like where do you start? What do you do?
Hey, can I ask everybody to?
Did that answer your question? Or was I way off track?
No. Listen, here's why that's so important. You just gave everyone a great story to tell, and that's the most important thing about sales. A lot of us are talking about features. We're talking about reviews. We're talking about SEO. We're talking about social posts. We're talking about email marketing, but we're not getting to the heart in the storytelling that's so critical for people to understand how it works and why it works. And so that's what you both, Nick, are brilliant at this. So can everybody just put a 1 in the chat box if you realize that you just got one of the best stories that you can tell? And here's how it started. Like I would talk to a business owner today, the moment you get off this training, and say, one of the people that I follow that's an expert in marketing, they actually started out working at an Olive Garden as a manager. And they were saying how critical it is that when there's a problem with a personal engagement with customer service or anything, how they would actually get in trouble for not going over and above. But now all that engagement is done online in the form of reviews. And there's no training, there's no service, there's no opportunity. And business owners are left trying to figure out, what do I do with this engagement online with these reviews? And here's the most important part. Never before in the history of business has it been more powerful for a consumer to literally drain the bank accounts of a business than to leave negative reviews for an experience that could have easily been thwarted. The business owner could have easily handled, could have easily gone over and above and corrected the situation. They just didn't know, right? They have a team member or a staff member that's having a bad day, or they felt there was ego or pride or maybe a personal conflict in the way. They don't know that. And the business owner doesn't even know that that's existing. And it's literally a sign to every single person that's looking at that business saying, don't shop here, don't buy here, don't do business with here. So it's kind of when you think about it, and I love what Dorn just said, it's a form of cancel culture. And how do you defend against that? What do you do? Well, the normal strategy would be buy more services from me, and we're going to attempt to build more reviews, which is a great thing. And we're going to try to push that stuff down and try to ignore it and stuff it in the corner like it doesn't exist. And even though that's a great strategy, and we use that strategy all the time, you should never have a one-pronged strategy for anything that you do. You need a multi-pronged strategy that says, look, we're not only going to help you build your reviews as a secondary strategy, but the first thing that we can do to instantly turn that negative review into a positive experience is respond to it. And not just respond to it any other way, with a very important psychological trigger formula that I want to give you. Now, you can respond to that review if you want, or I can do it for you. And that's the conversation we need to be in, not once or twice, really dozens of times every single week. And I think you can agree, Tom, I think one of the most difficult things, and put one in the chat box if this is you, one of the most difficult things to get in is a really authentic, heartfelt conversation to connect with the owner's vision for their company. I mean, we're always talking about features and benefits and price and contract and strategy, but what about that real, like, hey, I care. I'm not in this business just to make money. I'm in this business because I truly care about wanting to help you grow. I get a tremendous amount of energy and excitement and passion about seeing a business really break through, especially that has great services like yours. And I think it's very hard to do that. But when you're talking about their baby, right? Like the two things you can always strike up a conversation about with no hesitation is babies and dogs, right? Like, oh, the baby's so cute. Oh, like a total stranger, right? Unless you're, being a little weird, but dog too, right? You can approach anyone if they got a dog and be like, hey, such a cute dog, and they're willing to talk about it. We just know that every business owner's baby is their business reputation. And no one likes someone calling their baby ugly, right? They're going to have an important response to that, or they're going to have an emotional tug on their heart. So this is not a sales tactic or sales, just kind of a psychological mind bend ninja. This is you and me caring. I mean, really waking up every single day and saying, I really, really want to put my head on my pillow tonight thinking, I made an impact. I made a difference. And how do we do that? Well, let's go tell them they need to post more social media. Let's go tell them they got to rank better. Like, that's good and it's important. But what we need is more conversations with customers or potential customers that let them know we truly care. And this one piece, which is the heart of what they really care about, which is why they do business and why they work so hard and what people think about them, is an important part to have that heartfelt, really caring conversation to say, I can help you with this. Now, that's just on the negative review side. If you want to jump on the positive review side, I've got some real cool things about that. But Tom, what are your thoughts about that, getting those heartfelt, important conversations?
I mean, I think it's super critical because, business owners, I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday. I mean, they're getting clobbered by 27,000 people asking them why their Google business profile isn't optimized, right? Or why are they not showing up on the front page? None of that stuff sounds authentic. Also, as you know, I mean, here in our community, we have several strategies like our community resource website that we're using. And we have those strategies because we're trying to build a connection. Like, we don't even reach out to those people as a marketing agency. We reach out as this community resource website. And by the way, if you have a community resource website, like this service that David's talking about here would be an amazing thing to be doing on the back end of that, right? Because it is, and here's something that you said in the training, David, that really just opened my eyes, because you think oh yeah, responding to reviews, that's really good. But when you said, well, you're not writing the response for the person you're responding to. You're writing the response to the person who's going to be reading the other people that come and see it. And that was just such an aha moment for me, because people in our community may know this. You probably don't know this, but a few weeks ago, I got banned from a Little Caesars pizza. Okay, I wrote an email about it. I'll forward it to you. I'm not going to go into all the details, but I got banned. All right, they told me that I had to leave the premises and I couldn't come back. And so I wrote a negative review. Okay, now I will tell you, for the next 4 days, I went back and looked to see if anybody responded to that review. No one ever did. they had an opportunity,
right,
to at least try to get me back. You know what I mean? But now I think, well, what do all the people that come and see that review think? That this place is just a joke, right? Like, and I'm not the only review that's like that. So there's no counter message for all those people coming there. And like, I think that's so critical. Like they're like being able to have a counter message, and at least for the new person that's coming, maybe you're not going to save that person that left the bad review, but at least the new person comes and goes, oh, well, that person, it looks like they had a bad experience, but look, it looks like they handled it. It looks like they fixed it. Like, I feel comfortable going there because if that were to happen to me, they would help me, right?
Exactly. You're exactly right. It shows you're being socially responsible. And let me tell you this, for you and me, we're like socially responsible, meh, whatever. But this next generation, holy cow, you could be, I don't know, whatever you want to be. And if you're just socially responsible, they're in love. They're like, this next generation buyers from 18 to 30 years old wants to be connected with businesses and organizations that are connected to their customers, that truly care about their customers. When you're, a little up there, we grew up a little bit differently, but I'm telling you, this is a whole new way. This is why Instagram, and this is why these connection points are so important. But these reviews and responder reviews are even more important, because these are people to say, okay, how do you treat your worst customers and how do you treat your best customers? So matter of fact, let me ask everyone online. I want to give a $25 gift certificate if someone's there, because most people haven't seen this happen. Someone can go in that's left a review, and Dorn is probably going to win this one because he just loves winning tons of money. And screenshot when you've gotten a notification from Google saying 1,000 people have seen this review, or 500 people have seen this review, or 250. Put one chat box if that's you. Like, hey, I've seen that notification where you've left a review a year later, right? Is it anybody experienced that? Well, if you're not leaving in many reviews. But if someone goes and finds that notification, screenshots, I'll give you a $25 gift certificate. But Google's tracking that, and they're like, congratulations, you left this, and they don't care if it's negative or positive. Like, congratulations, this negative review, 800 people have seen it, and you're like, oh, really? That many people saw it? Like 2 years later. So it's so valuable, because these are moments in time that people are just, it's not like a referral. A referral is one-to-one. It happens, it's instant, it's gone. It's not happening again unless that person makes the effort to do it. A review is identical. I hope everyone gets this. A review is, so if you were to kind of T-chart a back of a napkin, here's the difference. A referral is private. A review is public. A referral is finite. A review is infinite. So a referral is one-to-one. A review is one-to-many. It is the exact same side of a different side of the same coin. So, and everybody talks about, oh, what's the most powerful marketing in the world? What's been in it? Everyone, especially if you're old school, is going to say referral marketing, right? Well, you can easily exchange referral marketing for review marketing or reputation marketing. They're one and the same, just a different one. If I was going to say what's a better and what should be done first, what should be the focus in today's marketplace, right? It should be review marketing. It should be reputation marketing. It's just as powerful, in many cases more powerful than even referral marketing. And so when you really get those aha moments from business, go like, I really didn't really think of it that way. So this is important. How can you help me with it? So these are things that we discuss inside the training of Review Responder that everybody can get really excited about and feel like, I've got a new set of language. I have a new opportunity to have these really important conversations with businesses that nobody else is having in the marketplace right now.
Yeah, and I'm going to let the link kind of scroll by the bottom of the screen. And if you didn't get to go see the training, you should go here and check it out. It's offlinesharks.com/exclusive, because I think you've only really rolled this kind of stuff you talk about in the training out to your internal community, right, David?
Yeah, that's it. So this all started, honestly, I wish I could say like it was like, oh, I came up with this amazing idea. We've been doing we've been doing review responses for a while, but until these stats came out, we hadn't looked at it as being a siloed single service that can stand all alone by itself. We always included it in what we were doing. It was a little bit of an upsell, and we never used it as a foot door strategy, never a full service. But the stats didn't come out and say, well, if you increase your star review from a 4.1 to a 4.8, and you respond to reviews, and it was like, look, just respond to reviews. When you do that, you will get more business. And what the big aha moment when we really dove into this was really cool. And that is that outside of putting a link in there, right? Outside of putting like buy now button or something like that, there are no rules to what you can say inside a review response. I mean, I can guarantee nobody.
That's interesting. Like you can just say what, you can just say whatever you want. Yeah.
Whatever you want. So obviously you want to do the right thing, which is let's say it's a bad review. We thank them for having the courage to go public and explain their frustration. We take responsibility that this isn't the typical way that we operate. We then go a little bit deeper and talk about our commitment to excellence. And then we ask them to have a personal conversation where we're going to make it right. Our commitment is to make it right. Reach out. Here's our phone number. Now, when that happens and you do it in that order, obviously there's more to it than that, but we built a prompt in AI that literally crushes it. Like you click the button and you read this and you would think that's, some master, copywriter wrote this, and you really feel like, wow, this business really cares. And same with a positive review. But if you flip the script into a positive review, that extra step of storytelling, like you said in the beginning, Tom, telling a really good story, you need to story tell them that. And so for some, they can use AI to do that, but for others, you can go even deeper. And one of the illustrations I put in that training, if they go to offlinecharts.com/exclusive, they're going to see a review where they do this epically, where they say, there's a 5-star review for a roofer. Remember, roofers like 10, 15, 20 G's a pop, right? In every single roof. So they say, hey, thank you for leaving us a great review. We worked really hard for you. We're so excited that we were able to work with your insurance, get it 100% covered, and then get you your new Timberline roof. And it was like, what did they just do? They just literally pitched. We are great with insurance companies. You don't have to pay for a thing. And more than that, think about the next step. Think about someone in sales, and they're like, yeah, we have a lot of great reviews online. Well, imagine now showing in their pitch deck the review and the response to the review in their pitch deck. That is saying, instead of we saying we're awesome, saying, hey, I want to show you what we work with, some of the reviews from our customers, and then I want to let you know how engaged we are with our customers, because we love our 5-star customers, and we love even the customers that might have struggled with, but look what happened with this one, and read the review out loud. I mean, that is giving your sales team just like incredible ammunition over and over and over again. So there's so many cool things you can do, and all it is a simple plugin that allows you to respond to reviews. And what it does automatically is allows that to go into a back office that gives you reporting and tracking. The cool thing too is with the strategy, because we're letting you build a plugin, we're giving you extra keys. So you can actually say, look, if you don't want us to do the service for $299 a month, here's what we can do. We can give you our proprietary plugin, and you can do it yourself for $49 a month and use our AI system that we're going to use. Now, obviously, if we respond to 10, 15, 20 reviews, we have to pay for people to do that. But if you want to do it yourself, here's the plugin. And our customers are selling the plugin for $300 to $500 a year, and there's no fulfillment. As a matter of fact, we had one of our elite memberships, they sold a plugin to a franchise at $300 for 15 franchises. So I think for the very first time, we've never done this before. We've always sold our software as a service. A white label service allows someone to white label and do the social or reputation. We've never sold a software that they can sell to a business. And it is mind-blowing how successful you can be with that foot in the door strategy.
That is a killer strategy. I mean, $49 a month, they do it themselves. Like that is a killer recurring revenue strategy, which by the way, I know it maybe hasn't sounded like it, but that's what we've been talking about this whole show, right? This simple strategy, this new thing of being responder reviews to be able to generate recurring revenue and get it in your business. I know too on the training, David, and by the way, if you guys go to offlinesharks.com/exclusive, you'll see David run through several of these strategies. And by the way, he gives you everything. He doesn't hold it all back. He shows you the scripts, tells you what they're doing. Plus, he does a demo of what the plugin does and how the AI works and all that stuff. And then at the end, he also shares some email outreach things that they've been using, which are freaking killer. Like, so good. I don't know if you know this, David, but when you first came into my orbit, way before I was ever doing this, you had a postcard template that you had where you would you put the person's bad review on the postcard template, and then you mailed it to them, right?
Yeah.
So, so I got that template, and first I had to change the people that you had on the front because I was in Hawaii, and I was
sure,
like,
they were Hawaiian.
Yeah, it wasn't Hawaiian at all. So I found new people to put on the front. And then I would go and print the bad reviews on a label and peel it off and stick it on the postcard. And I mailed 25 of those out and got 5 clients.
Think about that. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? That's amazing.
25 cards and got.
Dude, you waited 3 years to tell me that?
It said real big on the front because it was like, this is what people are seeing about your business.
Yeah.
And then there was this actual review from, I mean, people called me right and left. And basically, David shares a version of that strategy.
Yeah.
You don't have to do direct mail. You can just use simple email. So, like, killer. I should have mentioned that on the call yesterday. I didn't even.
No, I'm glad you mentioned now. Like, it's fantastic that, like, I had no idea. That was a killer strategy for me, too. Because here's what's interesting. When I got clients with that strategy, they were like, it's because it wasn't in an envelope, right? Where it came to them personally. So it went through the mail system, right? It was on the front person's desk. It was handed to other people might have seen it. So that was one of those big, like, I think it's one thing to see the review personally, but realized there's a lot of people that actually saw this on its way to me. I need to do something about it. And what that did is it gave a frame of reference to everyone that's going to be seeing it online. So what I would always say to them is, look, you know, a few people might have seen it coming into your office because it's on a postcard, but that's not even close to the prospects that are actually seeing it online right now, right? And we can help with that. And that was it. That was like, there was nothing more that needed to be said. There's no closing strategy. It's a heartfelt, real honest conversation. And I think some pretty big aha moments for businesses when they realize that.
Yeah. And we've been talking a lot lately in our community about how you can't start marketing until you get their attention. Like once you have their attention, then the marketing can start. Before then, you're just like whistling in the dark, and nothing will get a business owner's attention faster than seeing text or something that's bad about their business.
Yep.
Right. Like, I mean, they're like, what is this? Who said this? Where did this come from? Like, whether they've seen it or haven't seen it. Because if they've seen it, then it's that cringy feeling inside because they know the bad review's there and they've known it's been there and they haven't known what to do about it. And oh my God, now somebody's calling it out even more. If they don't know it's there, they want to go look and figure out, well, who said this? Where is this at? I didn't even see this, right? I wanted to bring this one up because Patty, I think, brings up an interesting point that you covered in the training, which is one of the things you said in that training was when you're trying to sell something to somebody, then you sell them more of what they're already doing. Yep. So, Patty, your thinking here is on the right track. Getting them reviews can help. But what I would do in the beginning is focus on people that are maybe they already have reviews and they're responding to some, but they're not responding to all, or B, they have reviews that they're not responding to at all. I wouldn't even deal with the people in the beginning that don't have reviews, right?
Yeah.
That would come later down the road.
So first of all, I know Patty. She's a great entrepreneur. She works hard. She's been in this business for a while. So Patty, I'm personally going to apologize to you for you not having Rep Kahuna, because you know about Rep Kahuna, and you know that that's one of our flagship products that literally copy and paste. You can get reviews on Autopod. That's a flagship system we have. So to answer your question, Patty, because you know I think hopefully you remember our ecosystem because you've been a customer of ours, is that we have, if someone wants that, we have an entire flagship enterprise product that does. So let me divide this up for everyone. Reputation it's like saying leads. Leads aren't leads. They just don't fall out of the sky. There is traffic, there's conversions and opt-ins, there's offers. There's a whole thing that needs to happen that you need to divide up. You can't just say leads, right? So when you say reputation, there's a lot of different facets of reputation. So there's 3 parts of reputation. Part 1 is reputation management. That's a reactive approach to actually managing your reputation. This would be part of reputation management, right? Like, hey, we're getting reviews and we're responding to reviews. So what Tom said was absolutely brilliant on all levels.
Thank you.
First of all, why work with a business that doesn't have reviews? If they don't have reviews, they need a lot more happening in their business so they can get more reviews. Like, they need more customers, they need more social presence, they need to be doing more business. Maybe they need a reputation building platform, which is the next step. So you've got reputation management, then you have reputation building services, which that would be what you're talking about. Hey, when someone opts in, we've got a really cool form that someone can have a kiosk. They can opt in on their phone, they can opt in on a kiosk, or the receptionist can opt them in, and 24, 36 hours later, they get a text message saying, how did we do? We have a voice broadcast system that sends out with the doctor's voice and says, or the dentist's voice and says, hey, you came in 2 days ago, press 1, I'd love to get your feedback. And when they press 1, it sends them a text message to actually leave a review. So there's lots of different strategies to do it. But then you've got reputation marketing. And reputation marketing is taking those great reviews and marketing them all over the web, social media, video marketing, and everything in between. So what we're talking about is a reputation management strategy that 99% of all agencies are completely missing. I would say 99.9% of businesses don't even know exists. But if you look, which what we do is we give you something called Website Spy, which is a software you put in any niche, in any city, and it will find businesses. And what it does, it goes to their Google Business List profile, and it reads 5 or the last 10 reviews. Now, no system does this that I've ever seen. It will read through the last 10 reviews, and it will look to see if they've responded to those reviews. And what it does, it gives you a percentage of response. So what you still want to work with first, as Tom said really clearly, is work with businesses that have already started to respond to reviews. And you'll find that most are 10, 20, 30%. They wish they could do 100%, but they don't have a strategy. They don't know how effective it's going to be and everything we just talked about. So work with businesses that have reviews. And the next step, instead of already responded reviews, those are the best ones. Those are the ones that are going to literally hand you money and want that plugin, or they're going to hand you money and they're going to want that service, whichever one that you want to do.
Yeah, that's great. So, I mean, and this is just basically an extension of the very basic thing we tell a lot of new people that come into our community that are trying to get clients. Like, one very basic pre-qualification to anything is we prefer to go after people that are already spending money on marketing. Yep. Right? Because we don't have to explain to them why it's important. We already know they know it's important. They're spending money on it somewhere. It doesn't have to be the kind of marketing we're trying to sell them, but it helps if they do that. And this is the same thing. If somebody's already responding to reviews, you don't have to sell them on responding to reviews. They know it. They must think it's important because they're doing it. So when you reach out and you have a way to streamline that process, which they've probably been looking for, because they're probably like, oh man, I got to respond to these. I can't always do it. It's a hassle. Like, you're the winner. So Sandy Alexander posted this, David. Is this what you were looking for the $25 gift card?
Oh, hold on. Let me see.
It says 5 people liked your reviews. Your reviews are helping others.
Yeah.
There, Sandy. Congratulations.
That's it. Congratulations, Sandy. See that? So Google's tracking all this. It's not something that's sitting on. They've got their engines monitoring how many people are seeing it, how many people have liked it and shared it. I mean, it's powerful and it's only building up steam. So just know you get one chance in this industry to get ahead of a trend. And the next 3, 6, 9 months is that chance. After that, there'll be competition. People will be talking about this. You'll see articles about this. There'll be front page magazines about this. But now, no one really knows about it except those that are following leaders in the industry like myself and Tom and Nick. So I'm so glad you guys are here. I hope that you'll invest in the review responder system. It's incredibly inexpensive. If you put on a monthly basis, less than $30 a month to literally have an entire business in a box. And Tom, I want to do something really quickly for everyone.
Well, and real quick too, David, I want to add before you do that. Just want to add to this. Whether you invest in the review responder or not, you should absolutely 100% go to offlinesharks.com/exclusive and watch that training. Yep. It will open your eyes. The strategies and principles that David shares in there can be applied to a lot of other things as well. Mm-hmm. So look, just having that information and understanding what's going on in there will help you in other things you're doing. And also it'll just keep you up to date with what's going on with this. So, I mean, there's just really good stuff on there. The training was amazing. So just make sure, go there, watch the training. And I mean, if you invest in Review Autoresponder, great. That's awesome. It's a great tool, but I think you'll get a lot of value just out of the training itself. Because David, you always do such a good job with that. So, okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We've I just got asked last week, like, who's your target market? Like, who do you like to work with in your business? Because why aren't you guys going and doing this and this and this and this? And I think it's just my heart. It's like, obviously I'm a founder of a company and I have a lot of love and understanding for entrepreneurs. And I love to work with Main Street small businesses. And that's where we're at. And my passion is those that want to come alongside and work with that same target market, because these are the leaders in the community. You don't find, it's just obvious, right? It's those leaders are the ones giving to the homeless. Those leaders are the ones serving in the community. Those are the ones that sit on boards of nonprofits. Like, when you're able to help those businesses, communities grow. When you look at the engine of our economy, and especially in the US, it is all run by small business. It is the heartbeat of who we are as a nation. So when I get to be a part of that and I get to partake and come alongside an entrepreneur and help them with their business, I mean, I just absolutely love it. And so what I'd like to do, I know you had a challenge and you said that you would like to help those in Hawaii and that are going through such a dramatic situation. So here's what I like to do. Only people that are on the line here, if we get to 10 sales through exclusive, I'm going to donate on their behalf to Nick and Tom's cause on your behalf, or we'll get all your names. The first 10, the investment into the strategy is $299. I'm personally going to donate $100 on your behalf to Hawaii and to those people that have lost so much, because it's important for us as marketers to come together. It's important to us to help them. It's important to us to serve them as many ways possible. So I'll do a matching program for everyone that buys through exclusive right now. We're going to get their names. We know who you are because we know what time you're buying. That I'm going to give $100 to Nick and Tom for the money they're about to raise on your behalf. And hopefully Tom, in the group, we can put something on a wall or something like that to let these people know that I know everybody's committed. Those that purchased before, thank you so much. But those that haven't, and because Tom, you're kind of putting on a challenge here, we'll raise $1,000. I'm willing to donate $1,000 right now. If you go to Offline Sharks in the next, I don't want to say this moment, but if you want to this moment, that's great. Tom, do you have a direct buy link at all?
What, Cameron, do we have that direct
because
link?
Some people might have watched it, right? And then they're like, I don't want to watch it again just to get the link. So if you give them a link. But I'll do that up until midnight tonight. So everybody that's on the call watching this, we'll get your names. If you buy up until midnight tonight, we'll take $100 of that purchase and put it towards helping the devastation that's happening right now in Hawaii?
Cameron dropped it in the chat. It's the reviewresponder.io/sharks link. So you'll see it right there. Here, let me, this is it. Cameron put this in the chat. So the link on the bottom will take you to the training so you can watch the training if you haven't seen it. Again, you should go watch that training no matter what. But the direct link, if you want to do the challenge, what David's talking about, just go to reviewresponder.io/sharks.
So I want to stop. Can we just pause here for a moment? And I want to talk about this psychology for just a second. I want people to put in the chat box, and this is not a tactic. But I want to break this down for a moment because I think it's very important to see what can happen when you truly care and aren't thinking about money, but you're thinking about causes and people and helping them through a process. So how many of you, just put in the chat box how you felt, just a few words, how you felt when I was saying that? Did it come across as, boy, what a cheesy salesperson that is? I felt like that was nails on a chalkboard. Or was it like, wow, I wouldn't mind buying. Matter of fact, I might just buy because of that, or I was on the fence, but boy, if I can support a cause. So tell me how you felt about that.
I see Jacqueline says you're showing your humanity and it feels authentic. Lee Proctor said warm.
Okay. I know we got a few other people online. We'll wait for their comments coming. No, listen, this is a time to really hopefully have an aha moment.
Dennis said talking from the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want you to think for a moment, what is the difference between what I just said and what you're saying right now to your prospects? Let me say that again so you get it. And that makes it, hopefully it starts to click. And I want you to put in the chat box the thought that's going on in your mind right now. What's the difference between what I just said and what you're saying to your prospects right now? Is there a difference? Are you willing to stand up and put your stake in the ground and say, there's a problem in the marketplace. I want to help fix it. And so if you allow me and sign up with this service right now, I'm on your behalf going to take a part of the proceeds and I'm going to send it to them. And here's where I'm going to donate it to. Because I'm just not here to grow your business. I'm just not here to make a living myself, but we're here to make an impact. We're here to make a difference. We're going to do it hand in hand, step by step together. So I want you to know that everything that you just experienced in the challenge I gave to you is everything that you can actually do and giving a challenge to your prospects as well. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to, what I call tie heartstrings. If more of us spent less time figuring out how to close a sale and have some cool little objection handling strategy, and we took more time to connect our heartstrings to our customers and to our community, boy, this is where you get a business that connects your passion, right? And what you do every single day and connects them where it's fun. You really enjoy what you do. So I hope that, and maybe this might give you some ideas as well, Nick, to start using the tools we already have and allow your group to go out and not in their own name, but in the name of this devastation that's happening to a very important community and one of our most, incredible sensitive states and ecosystems, to be able to help them and be able to raise money and all of us work together towards that common cause.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Yeah. And I mean, that is an aha moment because I remember when I was first starting my agency, like all I could think about was like, how am I going to sell this person something? How am I going to sell this person something?
Yeah.
How am I going to sell this person something? And I did not realize how much that impacted the way I sounded and what I was doing, And then the first time that I was talking to somebody and I was like, they were a friend of mine and they had a problem. And I was like, wait, I think I can help you fix that. Like that conversation was so different.
Yeah.
It just made the light come onto me. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. So if I stop thinking about how can I sell this person and start thinking about how can I help this person, like it seems so, I used to think people that said that kind of stuff that were like, I'm just here to make a difference. I used to think that was so cheesy because I was like, well, like, I mean, you're here to make money. I would always be like, I'm here to make money. You know, I'm here to make money. Right. But the reality is you can do both.
It's exactly right.
It's a one or the other, but it's not actually. And the way to make more money is to do both. The more you can do that, the more you can focus on helping the person and providing value and all those things that we talk about, the more money you make, you know? So anyway, yeah, really
brilliant. So let's just call that strategy. And this is in our community, what we call it. It's not something I created. It's just selling from the heart. It's really truly what's in your heart. Look, if you feel cheesy, tell people, look, I know this might sound cheesy, but this is the way I really feel. This is what I really think we can do together. And if it's cheesy to you, I understand, but I want to let you know this is exactly where I'm at on this. Like, I used to think my fears I needed to hide, and I don't hide those fears anymore. So let me give you an example of the opposite of when we start charging a lot more for our program, right? I was completely like, like the first time you get asked for someone for more money, you're like, are they going to pay it? I don't know. Like, you're holding on. So I leaned into it. And it was the most freeing conversation I think I've ever had in sales and in my business, where I said, guys, I want to let you know that I've never charged anyone this amount of money before. It's the most I've ever charged anyone. And the reason I'm charging that is because I want you to go to your clients and charge them more, because I'm about to give you more value, more service, more support than we've ever done ever before. And that's my commitment to you and be able to partner with you. But I also want you partnering with your business owners. I don't want you selling them a service. I want you giving them a relationship, and I want you charging more for that. And it's going to be able to build on that. And you're going to make more money. They're going to make more money. And together we're going to roll in the same direction. And I was like, oh, I mean, it came out because it was from the heart. It wasn't exactly like that, but you get the point of, I didn't be like, hey, this is all the value you're going to get, stack 1, stack 2, stack 3. It was really telling them, hey, I'm being transparent here. No one's ever paid this much money for my service, but here's why I'm doing that. So it's okay to say, look, I'm going to charge you $300 a month, but let me tell you, for the next 90 days, the reason I want you as a client is because $100 of that $300 is going towards the devastation of those businesses in Hawaii.
Yeah, sorry, I had to sneeze there. Thank you, Lee. Lee said, bless you. Well, I think what you just said there is so great, and more people should do that, because just the thing you said about if you feel like saying it's going to be cheesy, just saying, I know this may sound cheesy, but I really mean it. I mean, that's just such a great, such a great way to be real, right? I used to always think I had to project this image of the entrepreneur and business owner with nerves of steel.
The stoic business leader, right?
But no, the reality is the more that I let kind of people know that I'm just a human and this is what I do and I'm really trying to help, the better things go. So awesome stuff. Well, look, I want you guys to go watch the training, offlinesharks.com exclusive. If you're ready to jump in, the link's there. You can go do that as well. David, really appreciate you stepping up and making that challenge and getting us some funds that we can send over there, add in with what we're going to be doing. So that's really great. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me here, even though
dude, it's always a blast.
Yeah. Runny nose. We were talking before the show. I was like, oh my God, I'm like runny nose, getting but this was a great live show. I hope you guys got some value out of it. You'll get even more value out of watching the training, offlinesharks.com/exclusive. With that, we're going to see you here next Friday. Same shark time, same shark channel. So thanks again, David. Really appreciate it.
Hey, give me a golden nugget. What was the coolest new magic trick you saw in those 3 days of a long time to spend with magicians?
Oh, you're telling me. By the way, if you guys are wondering what a magic convention is like, it's like a Star Trek convention, only nerdier. Only nerdier. It's so funny you said that, because I sent a picture to my wife of all the magicians in they were in the lounge area just everywhere. And I was like, look at this craziness. And she messaged me back and she was like, and not a woman in sight. was like, oh my
I never
God.
thought about that before. Is that true? Like, is it like 99% or 95% men? Or?
Now more recently, more professional women magicians have been coming into the market. So she couldn't really see it there, but there were actually over to my right that were out of the picture. There were a couple of people that were actually magicians' assistants, and then there.
That's what I'm saying. They're mostly magicians' assistants. They're not the.
And then there was a professional. There was a professional magician. Her name is. You can see her on YouTube and stuff. Her name is Amanda Lepa, but she markets stuff to magicians and things. So she's.
So what was it? What was a cool trick?
Probably there was a juggler that came on one of the evening shows that juggled 15 balls, and it was crazy. They were rolling down his shoulders and he was catching them in his foot, and it looked so 15. It was amazing. When he had them in his hands, he was like, they were stacked all up, and he was like, whoom, whoom. And then I was like, oh my God.
He just kept going, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool stuff. Hey, well, thanks for having me, and thanks everyone for the great engagement. I'm so appreciative for the Sharks and their community, and more important, you guys that show up. I drive back from the camp, and I'm always catching you guys show on the way home, drive home. So it's always great to see friendly faces like Jacqueline and everyone and Doran. But it's also great to see those that are really committed to trying to figure out how we can really help entrepreneurs and their small local businesses. So thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. We'll see you here next week. Talk to you later.
You've been watching the Aloha Marketing Jam Session, your weekly marketing live show, always bringing you the latest strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. You can stay up to date throughout the week with the Remote Millionaires Podcast at remotemmillionaires.com/podcast and Nick's YouTube videos at nickponte.com/YouTube. We'll be back here next Friday for another live show. Until then,